Hello and welcome back. Right, now this is actually, I'm going to do a courseplay tutorial, but I have obviously got this, or in fact actually no, I suppose this could be, yes, now then what field are we on? Let's remind myself. Right, we are on, let's have a look, we are on field 17, which is indeed one of the perfect. Now I wanted to show a baling contract, but this is one of the most simplest sort of things that we've done. I've just had a quick session to try to get to grips with Courseplay beta on Farming Simulator 22, and I think I've got it. What I'd like to do though is not only show the correct way to do things, but also show the common mistakes that people may make, including myself, even though I would class myself as in FS19 an intermediate user. Right, now you will note it's in grade, okay, in this particular thing, it's on course interaction. That's exactly as it should be. Create a new folder, and I'm going to call it Calmsden. You can call it whatever you like. You will then see you've got write access, it's gone white, okay, so that's fantastic, that's all we need to do. Right then, now we haven't got a course for this, but we have now got the way we can write our courses to this. Now this is field 17, okay, so we are going to create a job on field 17. We want to go to Courseplay fieldwork. You will note that the cursor is above us, actually on our tractor. And of course it's at first waypoint, which is exactly where we want it to be, but we haven't generated a course, so open the course generator. The one thing I am going to say, never assume that people know much about something. If this is a tutorial for Courseplay, I am going to explain the basics. Note I am just within the boundaries of the field. That is very important. You need to be off the road, off the path, on the field for this to actually register as the field within the field boundaries. That's very important. So at this point you open the course generator. That's got a massive width, but it's worked out perfectly well. It seems very good on this. Now, a number of headlands. I'm going to this is a very large field, so I'm going to go for 2. Bearing in mind this is a huge width as well, work width. I'm going to leave it on headland overlap 10% is fine, especially bearing in mind the width. It may miss tiny little bits of the corners. Those settings by you can tweak these. And you can obviously make the direction the wrong way or the overlap more. You can skip rows if you wanted to start at a certain point if you were using a team. But we're going to stick to the basics for now. We just want to generate the course based upon the choices we've made, which in this instance is 2 headlands with a 10% overlap. That might be too much, and if it can't generate the course, then it's going to moan. No, fantastic. Just give it time. Fantastic. Now we need to, I can see the lines underneath, but let's have a proper look. Right. Actually, because this is such a large field, that is absolutely perfect. Now note, we are on first waypoint. The cursor is on us, that's really important. And now we just say start the job. And if we have done our job correctly, now one thing. If we wish to use this again, go to your courses, save the course. Activate means name it, so it's 17 and it is 42 meters or 137 foot. Unfortunately I always go by the meterage, even though I am actually an old school person. It always does it as meters in the game, so I always stick to the meters. So 42 meters foot. Actually no, 42 meters is actually that I used to shorten it to just 42 meters because that would work for anything that was 42 meters or thereabouts. Right, smashing. So we've got our now showing on the right hand side, so we've got that field 17, 42 meters. You can call it what you like, obviously a bit more detail if that's what you like. Now then we go back. That's going to throw things out a little bit, or it usually does. Okay, note the cursor has gone, and although it shows the course, everything else has gone. So we need to go create job, even though we're not creating the job. We now go back to the courseplay field. This is important. This is the bit that I kept missing in my earlier goes, and even on this very Let's Play, because it was a little bit unfamiliar and I wasn't sure what I was doing. So note the cursor is above us again. We are starting at the first waypoint and we want to just start the job. And if I've done my course correctly, that at this point should, if we go out, show us actually doing and following the lines. Now I've got the lines off because this is partially a courseplay tutorial. Now this is the bit, I think I made mention of this on the, these do the round and round trick, and this is to do with plugging in with the AI system. Oh no, now, oh, wow, for once they've actually corrected themselves. Normally, as standard, what is happening is the AI workers tend to be going wrong. Let's just switch the lines on, so just to make this easy for now. I know normally I wouldn't do this, but actually for now I am going to, so that people can see what's really going on with courseplay. These are the exact lines that courseplay are following to actually complete this course. I'm hoping this time we can actually do this. Now I am going to time-lapse this because it's still very boring. That's the only trouble with this being such a large course. I would have preferred to do a tutorial on a smaller course, but I am literally going to say my words. We're going to do this as a bit of a tutorial, but I'm also going to time-lapse it to sort of till the end of this course, just to show that courseplay is doing its job properly. I think we've highlighted most things. I am probably going to do a couple of things to another couple of things, and I'm going to add that in as the courseplay bit. So yes, I shall say my words. I shall see you guys and girls on the other side. Now then, this is an interesting scenario. Yes, it's completely emptied the back, and so now the weight is in the, yeah, all in the, let's have a look. Can we fill directly from that though? I doubt we can. No, we can't. Now, so then this, yeah, that is interesting, because that sort of now does make the other, the all-purpose tool in a certain way actually the better of the two. So obviously that weight is, yeah, okay, interesting. Right, okay, well this is, it's all a learning curve. We need to, in fact, yeah, we need to drop that off. We need to get it on the side of the field. Yeah. Okay, so it was a good idea in theory, but not so in practice, because we've got no weight on the back. So really, in effect, that makes the fronts totally useless, because by the time the weight's gone in the back, there's absolutely no point in having the front. So, yeah. It may actually, of course, with a bigger tractor, but I doubt very much you would use a massive tractor to actually achieve this. So yes, right, okay. Well, it was worth a shot. Courseplay, however, was doing exceptionally well. I shall cut out this. This is now our Calmsden session rather than our. Let's just knock that onto start-stop only. And we shall get on with our Calmsden episode. I shall go over some of the Courseplay quirks at a later date and add those to the Courseplay section of this Let's Play. But yes, we have certainly covered how to do that, and I think, yeah, going forwards I'm going to have to yeah, that's a shame, that is, that I do seriously think, though, obviously if the tractor was heavier, that would work, and I wonder if we could try that with the Deutz. That would be an interesting, yeah, it would actually. Obviously, bearing in mind I wouldn't ever use the Deutz because it's got big wheels, but obviously this is a contract, so we can't damage the field. So with that in mind, let's drop that off, grab the Deutz, and we'll do a test, because this is more about Courseplay than anything else, but it's definitely proof of concept. So yeah, let's grab that. Right, yeah, I'm happy with that. So then we want to grab the, this is 10 tons, so let's see if the weight on this will offset. We really do need to get that air compressor fitted, one at the farm and one here. Right, let's do our test. Whoa, seriously can't see. Oh. Okay. Okay, I deliberately haven't filled this so that it is heavy only at the front. So this is just to see if the physics are working right, and with the right kind of tractor, obviously I wouldn't use this, but if it is by the weight of a tractor, then obviously this is still a viable option, but can only be used with heavier tractors, which is obviously physics-wise actually quite accurate. Now then, where on earth did I leave the front box? How far down this massive field did I leave it? It's a big field. Now then, I'm sure it was on the left-hand side. Okay. Ah, I see it. It's appearing now. Yes, now can we do this? I do love the way that this actually does feed into the back box though. That is amazing. That is something it always did in or the Transporter. I'm not sure it wasn't the Joskin, but this actually is good because I can't remember if the Joskin did do this in FS19, but this is like a dream mod now. Okay. Yes, that is much better. So it is a weight thing, basically. Yeah, right, okay. Right, let's find where Courseplay got to, and this is also now about Courseplay again. Okay, now the good news is now, obviously, we are actually going to be using the weight from the front, which for a heavier tractor like this is actually quite okay. Right, so we need to switch Courseplay on again. And of course, actually no. This is a perfect training session. Now then, there is no course actually loaded, so this has not been set a course. So we choose 17 and we load that course. Go back to this, and you should now. Why is that not? Hang on a minute. Load course. Activate. Smashing. Brilliant. So activate as well. Now we can see the lines. You always have to hit create job, which is a bit confusing because you're not creating a job at all, but obviously Courseplay fieldwork. We don't want first waypoint. We actually want nearest, but note there's no icon, no target position on this. You need to click on the tractor and also point roughly in the direction of the thing, and then click on start job, and it should, if we've done everything right, we're on Courseplay fieldwork, should say start job, and you should get Courseplay fieldwork working the field, and it's nearest, so it should follow the lines. Let's see if it's done it correct, and also whether it can manage with that weight now that it's in a heavier tractor. I'm glad we did that though, because obviously some of this is down to physics, whereas this next bit is just purely down to Courseplay. Right, oh, let's switch the lines back on as well. Just for this, I wouldn't normally have these on. This is really a Courseplay tutorial. Why are you... Is it because you're... Interesting. Why are you following the wrong line? Well, at least it's got the sense to know. It should be over there though. Okay, I must have missed the line very slightly, because truthfully we should be... I must have been on the transport line rather than the actual fieldwork line. This was the only thing, so let's actually go back to the point where I've deviated from that. I'm glad this is all good practice for Courseplay, definitely, because these are all things that can truthfully happen. You'll see there's the transport line which hasn't got the arrows, and then there's the proper Courseplay line. I must have been so close to the transport line rather than the actual proper fieldwork line. Right, let's set this going, and let's cast, and let's follow the line, and when it deviates we shall stop it again and start Courseplay fresh. Note the overlap is a bit much. This is because I chose the parameters of 2 headlands, and to squeeze that in it had to go at a smaller throw. Yeah, and that was my choice. If I'd have chosen 1 headland, it would have done its absolute utmost to try to use the throw, and it's one thing in time you do wonder, with this being adjustable spread width, will they incorporate that into Courseplay where the tools can be controlled to the point where the throw width can be changed? Right, so we're still way too close to the transport line. Right, now we're going away from the transport line. Let's just get around the corner this way. Whoa, still weight is affected a little bit. It's just that the Deutz can actually get away with this. Right. Okay. Right, we are now on the line. Perfect. Go back to course play and create job again, even though we're not creating a job. Note now the point is it would return to the point where the cursor is. We don't want it on first waypoint, we want it on nearest, but we also need to be as close to that and pointing in the direction of the line as possible. Now we should, if we are closer to that line than the other line, we should, yes, and this is a common thing where Courseplay, it follows the AI worker where it homes in and always does this, well, I won't say always, but most frequently circles back to the exact point where you actually started it, and it will go back to that point and then it will start as you've just seen. That is common. That is how Courseplay does work within FS22. Frequently goes off the line and then comes back. I don't know whether it's a pathfinding thing, but I have noted it on my Erlingrat earlier when I was going through the Courseplay tutorial. Unfortunately it was too long, so I thought unfortunately this, because it's such a large field, is also too long, so I should probably trim this and only include the bits that we need for the Courseplay tutorial. But this shall also be our, obviously our Calmsden session. Now the weight should be getting less in the front. I'm seriously wondering how much have we done? 53. Now we should actually then just about have enough, although we are wasting some with the throw. Obviously you can see that we are actually over sort of compensating. That's because we chose this course, so it all depends on whether we waste too much as to whether we will complete this course with the fertilizer that we actually have. It may be that we just run a little short. I'm glad we sort of proved that this was, so we do need a heavier tractor to actually be the fertilizer spreader, so something of a bat, and this is only just managing it. This is 13 tons. I presume that is with including the 3 tons of the what's left in there. Oh, is it? Oh, that's interesting. Let's have a look to see if that drops down to 12.8 when it drops down to 9.3 when we lose 100 litres. That is if 100 litres equals 1. Yes, it does. Just gone down to 12.8. So it is a proper tally of the weight of this. It'd be interesting to see how heavy. Also, it's got a very good centre of gravity with it being this kind of tractor as well as it being heavy. So yeah, whereas obviously the taller tractors obviously have a different centre of gravity. So I would imagine you're going to need a fairly hefty tractor to be your fertilizer spreader if you're going to use this particular kind of setup, which is why in FS19 I always loved the Fendt GT. That its storage was an integral part of the tractor itself, so therefore the centre of gravity was perfect, whereas the Joskin is obviously an addition which further puts the weight on the front end. Interesting. Right, so then right, I am going to literally time-lapse this again. I just wanted to quickly do an addendum, but I've been waffling for ages now, so I shall literally say my words. I shall see you guys and gals on the other side. I really don't know why Courseplay has changed tack, because that is... Unless it was going to go right down to the bottom of the field, but I'm going to speed this up a little bit, because, yeah, it's like watching paint dry, so I presume it's that centre bit. Right, so yeah, no, it has gone wrong. That definitely was wrong. It really should have forked off down the offshoot of that branch, and it chose the wrong path. Well, it is a beta, so again, it's not perfect. Oh, actually, no, I think it should have gone down this one. Yeah, looking at it, there's way an overlap. So, yes, from this point onwards, no, is it further back than that even? It would be very wasteful. Yeah, this is all down to my choices, really. So we've got to find the edge of the... where we got to with the fertiliser. Wow, it's way back. Well, it really did, for some reason, go totally wrong. Wow, this is such a big field. Such a slow tractor for this job. Oh dear, we need a heavier tractor. If we're going to do this particular setup, obviously. It's really about that, isn't it? Oh my life. Actually, no, I'm not. Yeah, we're going to change this, because this, otherwise we're going to be here forever. We're not going to follow the Courseplay. We are literally going to do our own thing now, because this is going to take forever. Oh, clocked my... Okay, let's just try and get this right manually now. But yeah, it was working, and it may actually have been correct then, because I've, yeah, discovered that it's definitely not. Yeah. Right, going to go back into time-lapse mode. We're now manual. I'm not sure if we're going to complete this, but we're going to do our best. So, without any further ado, I'm going to say I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. we certainly did cut that a little fine with 103 litres left, but it did prove that we did do it on what we got. Also proved you need a heavier tractor to actually get away with the 3 tons on the back when that is empty. I don't know how heavy the actual Koonaxis is on the back, but I would imagine empty not that heavy. So obviously when the 3 tons at the front with the wrong kind of tractor, this has got a very low centre of gravity. I don't know whether the physics factors that in, whether it is very accurate physics, but in real life it would be a very stable tractor due to its low centre of gravity. But yes, obviously I think you're going to need the weight of the tractor to be able to offset the fact that that's 3 tons at the front, once the 3 tons at the back has gone, is definitely going to become very front heavy. So the wrong kind of tractor, and that seriously is going to be a problem. Right, I am literally, this was more about courseplay than anything else. I don't want to make this, I will literally, I do love the fact that we can actually fill this from here. This is an amazing thing that you could not do in Farming Simulator 19. It doesn't recognise, you still add 100 litres in. That's unusual. Right, fantastic. So that is where we're going to leave this time. Now then, is that grass? Yes, it is. So next session is, I've just taken that baling contract on. Well, I think the baling contract one next time is going to be a perfect one for us to prove courseplay is a full. It's 3rd stage, isn't it? Oh, I didn't do a full fertilisation, did I? Only did half. Oh well, it's still going to be good. It's not going to be bad at all. I don't think the first time we cut this we'd got no fertilisation, so still going to be better than that. Anyway, without any further ado, I am going to cut this one short because this is more about a courseplay, but it is also our this play session. We have again, let me just check our animals. I don't want to be. Also, did I look at, I would imagine I did. Yes, I did. I remember the Azurit, and I also remember that, thinking that would be fantastic purchase for us. Now the Landini, thinking about that, would that make, with it having a low centre of gravity, I don't know, with it being, it's only light, isn't it? 2.9 tons. Yeah, I'm not sure. I will contemplate this, because that's a heavy tractor with more than enough mass to compensate for the 6 tons that are different on the back. I would imagine a 3 ton tractor is not going to be able to compensate for 3 tons at the front when there's none at the back. I would say that's a given. No matter how good the centre of gravity is, it's just not got the mass to deal with that extra weight. So no, I think we'll pass. Anyway, without any further ado, I am going to... let's just look at the animals before we start wobbling. Right, so we've got milk. Excellent. Total mixed ration. So now we could start to put some grass in. We have actually got reproduction, and health is now up to 100%. That is fantastic. So it looks like, now where do we take our milk to? Because this is all new to me now. Let's have a look at milk. Where do we take that to? That's a shame. Now, I actually used to love the fact that you could send your milk away and not have to do that. I don't mind doing it. It's obviously so 600 and odd. I would imagine that's a lot higher if you were on, so that's 2 tons, 1200. So we're going to need to buy a tanker in the future. Let's have a look what we've got available, because this is new to me. I've never really needed to do this so far, so we're going to need to go for, no, not miscellaneous. It's going to be animal transport. No, that's literally transporting animals. Yeah, but it could be under animals. That's water. And that's water. Now that's milk, and that's the bigger. Yeah, I think. Oh, well, that is. Yeah. To be honest, it's gonna have to see if there's any modded ones. Ah, he says there are indeed. Is that a? Yeah, it is. That's a 28. Right, so fantastic. We have got. They were actually just dropped a couple of days ago. That's fantastic. That is very good value. So I think we will be buying one of those. We don't need to worry about it just yet, but that is definitely what we're going to go for. Right, so we've proved quite a lot today. A bit of a courseplay tutorial. We will be cutting our fields tomorrow, but we will also be doing this. I have in a way, through what I've just done, I wanted to do that more for a courseplay session, but we've also got to clear these two. So what I'm going to be doing is setting the. Trouble is we need that tractor. Yeah, we do. We need that for. Yeah, so. I'm unsure as to how to handle this because we do truly need that. I don't think we can handle the mowers. We can, can't we? I'm sure we can. Yes, we can. We can cut the field and we can windrow. Without this is the baling. We could actually get the fertiliser contract sorted, the big one, get that out of the way, and it doesn't matter if we leave the. Let's turn time down because we're talking now. It's not. We're wasting the day, and that we can't get that time back. Yes, I think we'll be doing our fields quite late on, being as I've chosen to go the route of all of those contracts, and we must fulfill our contracts. You have got to keep your word, to keep your integrity, and that's what I am intending to do, even though it was a silly thing to do. So we've got too much work of our own to do. But that is what we've done, so that is what we're going to have to do. So, with no further ado, we know what we're going to be doing next couple of sessions, I should say, because I would say the baling session, the baling contract is going to keep us busy for a complete session. So we need to get rid of those fertilising contracts. Maybe take the... Oh, we can't. If we do the small fertilising contract on field 21st, we could do the spraying contract, because I think next session we're going to be clearing the 2 fertilising contracts, and if we do the spraying contract, the session after we should concentrate on the baling contract without a shadow of a doubt. We may turn time down a little because we've got a lot of work to do, and we've got to bear in mind that this is really a month, not a day. So me moderating the time is more about us trying to get that month moderated correctly, and I don't want obviously to run into the night. So anyway, we know what we're going to be doing over the next couple of sessions. We've done quite a good test of course play. We should continue to do this through this Let's Play. So without any further ado, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.